I love food, every type of food, and I'm not joking when I say this. If something can be digested and not kill me, I love it. Some would call me a monster, others would call me insane, but they all would call me a cannibal. I am what I am. I ate wild animals when I was a kid, such as rabbits, squirrels, chipmunks, prairie dogs, even a cat and a dog that wandered too far from their owner's home. I loved the assorted textures between the different kinds of meat. It was an extraordinary experience. I'm very fond of my childhood, even if I did not have that many friends and spent many nights alone with just my thoughts and I. Those nights alone are when I figured out that all you need to survive in life is food and water. Those are the essentials, and nothing else. I never planned to ever have a job, but I was going to live in the wild where I can kill and hunt animals on my own. But I figured out a way to get free meat for the rest of my life that I could not find in the wild. The best kind of meat. Since then, I can't stop myself from doing it. It's as natural to me as a baby is to crying. I'm also not as rare as you might think. There are others, just like me, all across the world. They don't admit it, or have not been introduced to how delicious the flesh of man is. You may ask how I acquire something so controversial as human flesh. If we live in the same place in the world, you just might find out for yourself. But of course, you would not be alive to see it. I'm not saying that I kill people. That's far too risky, and is not worth going to jail for, because then I would never be able to eat flesh again. Let me just say that I chose my career as such that I am around dead bodies enough to know that it's wrong to waste. You don't feed a pig until it's big, and then kill it and bury it into the ground. No. People would call that wasting. But hypocrites are they who say the opposite thing with human beings who have died. The worst part of my work is watching perfectly good meat being burned into a tiny little pile of ash that is then put inside an urn. A complete waste of meat, not just for me, but for all the insects and bacteria that would have thrived off of consuming that body are left to search for food elsewhere. That person lived their whole lives consuming plants and the flesh of animals, and when it's their turn to be eaten, they choose to be burned by fire instead. Selfish. Completely inconsiderate of the other organisms that live on this earth. When I cremate people, I always treat their body with utter disrespect, because that's all their body is worth now. It's worth nothing more than the dirt we walk on, because that's what it becomes. You may be wondering how I get my supply of human meat. It's a very delicate process, but has worked very effectively. Well, while I prepare the body to go inside the casket, I make small incisions in the side of the legs and take out as much meat as I possibly can without it looking like anyone touched it. Then simply replace it with some sort of filler and sew the person back up. It's a very delicate process, but I have mastered it over the years. It's so amazing how unobservant mourning people are. They never notice a difference through their tears. I don't think what I'm doing is illegal. I'm not hurting anyone and no one knows about it except you. But you don't know my identity, so I won't stop. I simply just wanted to inform others who crave human meat just like me out there that there is a way to be a cannibal without killing or hurting anyone.